Growing Still is made on the traditional lands of the Mississaugas of the New Credit First Nation, the Haudenosaunee, the Anishinaabe, and the Huron-Wendat. We acknowledge them and any other nations who care for the land, acknowledged and unacknowledged, recorded and unrecorded, as the past, present, and future caretakers of this land, traditional territory named Tikaranto, where the trees meet the water, the gathering place. We are youth that have come together and are settled on this land, creating this podcast. We do not support colonial forces that undermine, distort, or erase the vital role of Indigenous people in our world.
Welcome to Growing Still, the podcast where anonymous youth share their voice.
I'm your host, Thomas.
And I'm your other host, Griffin.
And you're watching the Skylark channel. Draws Mickey Mouse ears. But, would it be the bird because the logo's the bird? Oh, okay, I'll draw a bird. Draws bird.
This is season 1 of Growing Still, where we're looking at tips for adults on talking to youth about mental health.
Last time, we covered our thoughts on consent in conversations about mental health.
Consent!
Woo! This episode, we want to look at the next steps in this section in our podcast. Is about atmosphere and approach for these chats.
Setting the mood in a chill, no pressure kind of vibe.
The first step for creating an environment people want to talk to you about something as touchy as mental health is building trust.
No one is going to talk to you if they don't trust you.
Even if they do trust you, they still may not talk to you.
For me, it comes down to one thing, and that's active listening. So, just paying attention to what I'm saying, hearing me out without judgment. That's what makes me feel supported always, no matter who it is. If it's an adult, if it's a friend, if it's someone who's a therapist, a social worker, that doesn't matter. To me, it's the act of listening.
I wish the adults in my life wouldn't infantilize me. That just done it, because that's in my mind for the whole time. So
That also goes perfect into our next question is, how do you want adults to talk to you?
not like a baby. I'm not like your toy. I'm not something that you can just throw around, you know?
If a child was going through a lot of mental illness and there was nobody to support them through it, they would think that they were completely alone and the mental illness would get worse.
I still value that a lot of adults try to make an impact on the youth's mental health, and they try to lead us in a good direction. I'm really thankful for those people.
Still, trust is important. It's how you build a rapport with someone.
Let's look at an example.
Charlie is having a bad day.
I'm having a bad day.
Junior notices something is up with Charlie. Hey, Charlie, is everything all right?
I don't want to talk about it.
Now, Junior has 3 options.
Option A. He can continue to question Charlie.
I know something's wrong. What's going on with you?
Option B. He can dismiss Charlie for refusing to talk to him.
Fine, be like that.
Option C. He can respect Charlie's decision and not talk, yet leave the offer to talk open-ended.
Okay, I'm here if you want to.
Which option is best?
It's definitely gotta be option C.
Yeah, C may feel obvious, but option A and B happen often.
When you respect someone's refusal of your offer to help, you're not only showing respect, you're building trust that you will respect them.
This scenario also points out that when looking to support someone, remember your intention is to support them, not to accept your support.
Pushing someone to talk to you or shutting someone down for not wanting to talk contradicts your initial goal, which is to be there for them.
I don't know, I feel like adults a lot of the time feel as though they need to have all the answers and they need to be able to fix things for you. But a lot of the time the best way that a person can respond is just, yeah, that sucks. Like just acknowledge that I'm going through something and that it's real, rather than just try and attack the problem and explain why it isn't actually a problem.
I also feel like adults, they're older, so I don't know, they have more money than us. It's not even just I would say power, they have more responsibility than us.
They should be I guess they should be trying less to control what we do and just kind of softly guide us if they think that we're going off on the wrong track. Try to softly guide us, give us alternatives instead of trying to kind of micromanage what we do, because kids need to make bad decisions sometimes. If kids aren't allowed to make bad decisions when they're young, then they're going to end up making all of their bad decisions when it actually matters when they're older. And then they're going to be in a lot of trouble because you have to learn by experience sometimes.
Now let's try another scenario.
Teddy's an adult.
I pay taxes. He needs to talk to Bear, a youth,
I get discounted movie prices.
about something very important and time sensitive.
Bear, I need to talk to you about something very important and time sensitive.
I don't want to talk right now.
Okay, in this situation, what should Teddy do?
Different than the first scenario, Teddy can't just be like, sure, that's fine, let's talk later.
In fact, different than the first scenario, there's actually no specific right answer in this situation.
There's a lot of ways Teddy can approach this. He can highlight the need to talk right now, even though Bear has indicated that he isn't in the mood or might not be able to.
Teddy can ask Bear what would help Bear to talk, but that could be pushing Bear further than he's comfortable and could cause an adverse response.
That's why we want to highlight in this second scenario nuances in building trust.
We also want to highlight that trust is a two-way street. Bear needs to trust Teddy that he has something urgent to bring up with Bear and has everyone's best interest in mind.
Teddy also has to trust Bear that he would talk if he were able to, and that Bear has a good reason for choosing not to talk right now.
This scenario is a great moment to build trust because the conversation that happens after can be focused on both of them creating a solution to their conflicting needs. Teddy needs to talk and Bear not wanting to talk right now.
Whether it's scheduling a time to talk later, giving Bear space before approaching again, or asking Bear if Teddy can just explain the situation and then Bear can get back to him ASAP, all of these ways demonstrate each side considering the other.
And sometimes there can be conflicts.
Teddy may be frustrated and feel Bear doesn't really know how important the subject is. It can be very serious.
Which leads us to our final point of building trust.
It's something you build. It doesn't just appear. For both sides, it's good to acknowledge that. No one is less of a trustworthy person based on one person's ability to trust them.
This is about learning to build successful interactions with another to create the trust so that when shit gets real, there's a foundation to deal with and rebuild upon.
Like, it's if you go through it, it might be a little bit easier to explain to someone, but it's really if someone wants to listen.
Yeah.
And doesn't, like, be closed-minded and doesn't judge. If they really want to listen to you and learn about it.
I'm sorry I'm, like, tying it to this, but, like, for me, like, I remember when I came out to my mom as bisexual, her response was along the lines of, okay, you want to talk about it? And that's kind of the same approach that I wish people could have with mental health related stuff. Like, it's not just, okay, that's fine, and then we shut off the conversation and never talk about it again. I mean, if the person doesn't want to talk about it, then you don't talk about it, obviously. But that kind of response of, okay, want to talk about it, it opens up that as a possibility for the person, and it can help with understanding, and it can help with just feeling validated.
But it is a lot easier when the people are listening, supportive, non-judgmental. They don't look like they pity me. And they actually ask questions, because I really like it when people ask questions.
How are you?
Same. Like, I want someone who I could trust talking to, who would listen to me. And not just that, but someone who would, like, I could tell them one day, like, they don't have to deal with it then, but they'll come back to it and try to help me deal with it later on. Like, just listen to me and listen to what I'm going through, and not just push it to the side.
And that's all we have for you on building trust.
Next topic will be offering strategies.
So this episode is going to be us offering you strategies on how to offer strategies.
# meta episode. It's deep. It's poignant.
Spell that last word.
What does it even mean?
It hits you.
Share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Comment how great we are or question our greatness.
If you have anything you want to ask us, you can leave a comment or email us directly at growingstillpodcast@gmail.com.
Our inspiring phrase of the now is,
Trusting you is my decision. Proving me right is your choice.
thanks for listening. Remember,
It's okay if you're not where you want to be.
it just means you're growing still.